Hey y'all, it's Tii Marie here. The video for today is seek God's presence and he will provide everything you need. When you seek God's kingdom, you're accessing a king. Remember, you're talking to a king, a higher up, the creator of all things. You're accessing the one who loves you the most, who wrote your life out. When you seek God's kingdom, you asking for understanding, wisdom, deliverance, and discipline. Make sure your heart is aligned with a greater purpose when you seek God's kingdom. When you seek God's kingdom, make sure your heart is aligned with make sure your heart is pure, first and foremost. Make sure your heart is pure and just make sure, what's the word I want to say? Just make sure you're doing or you're coming to the Lord for a purposeful reason, okay? When you come to the Lord, you ask him for his love, his joy, and his peace. You surrender your pride for his honor. Okay, you have to surrender. So you can't be prideful when you go to the Lord about things. You have to be humble. When you come to the Lord, you're being vulnerable and open. You have to spill all of your issues out to the Lord. You have to, when you have problems, when you don't understand something, you have to put it out all on the table. You have to just say why you don't understand it. You have to just ask, Lord, please help me understand. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be open. You may cry, and it's okay. It's okay. You have to be honest and alert when you seek God's kingdom, when you seek his presence. When you're honest and alert, you're honest with yourself, you're honest with your feelings. So God already knows what you think. He already knows what's in your heart, but he wants you to be honest with him so he could give you his all and be honest with you. You seek God's presence through prayer, worship, and reading the Bible. That's how prayer just invites God into our physical world. Because we're praying to him, we're accessing a conversation, a communication with him. Worship is just singing, singing the gospel songs. My favorite one is Every Praise. Every praise is to our God. Every word of worship is one accord. Every praise is to our God. Anything like that is worship. And you got to read your Bible. When you read your Bible, that's how God speaks to you. God speaks to you through your Bible. It's just facts. Those are facts. In order for God to provide, let me give y'all an example. In order for me to get my content that I bring out to y'all, I have to seek God's kingdom. At night, I seek God's kingdom. I read my Bible. I pray. I do my worship. And God just download information to me to speak to y'all. I have to seek his kingdom. I have to seek him. I have to listen to him. Be obedient. Okay? I obey him by giving y'all these words. Because he knows it's somebody out there who needs to hear him. When you seek God's kingdom, when you want to hear him, when you want him to provide for you, it takes discipline, respect, and maturity. You got to have discipline to come to God every day. You got to have respect to respect the higher power, to respect him as your creator and as the one who just did everything for you. Imagine all those times you didn't know how you was going to get out of the situation and you came out of it. That was God. Maturity, your maturity is just, how can I explain the maturity? Just being knowledgeable of his power and being knowledgeable of who he is as a God. This takes dedication and commitment. You got to be dedicated to hearing from him. You got to be dedicated of learning more about him. You got to be dedicated of seeking his kingdom. You got to want it. You got to be committed. It got to be in you. You have to want to do it, okay, for it to work out for your good. You have to actually want it to receive it, yes. And you got to believe that you would get everything you need for him. That's one thing. You got to have faith. Faith without works is dead. You got to have faith that everything God told you was going to happen is going to happen. And you got to have faith that when you receive what you need from him and you receive that word, that it was for you. Like, you have to have faith that while I'm giving you this word, it's meant for you, for everything to manifest.